one of the biggest things in screen printing is screen printing athletic jerseys, uniforms, things like that. So one of the ways to print numbers on that is using number stencils, and Don's done a lot of number stencil printing in his career. He's going to explain how to do that right now.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Numbers are a big thing. You know, I mean, not many printers do them. You know, it's a niche, and they make specific numbering machines. But some of those get up into the thousands of dollars. You know, if you're really going to do a lot of numbers, you know, that'd probably be the best way to go, really. But if you're just doing a few, you know, there's these stencils, and they're made. I'll pass some of these around. They're kind of out of, I don't know, like parchment paper, onion paper. They've been around a while. They're like a low cost. It's got them on. Deal, and you know, basically you would. This is a 110 mesh, which is probably what I would use most of the time, just because you get more ink through the screen. And you would burn yourself a square onto the screen, just expose a whole square, wash it out. And then I've taped off a little bit. The big thing about the advantage to doing it this way is you don't have to have, you know, 15, 20, 30 screens with all these numbers on, and switching screens in and out. They do make systems. But you would have that, and you start out with the bigger numbers first and work your way down, and you can close off the edge as you come down to the single digit numbers.
I'm sorry, can these be used on jerseys?
Sure, you could use them on anything. Jerseys, you know, jackets, whatever. It would still be the same process. You might have to have an additive for the ink, and you might have to play with the off contact, maybe a little bit different for jerseys. I still use the same off contact as normal, about nickel width, a little bit. And you know, your eye will, I'm not going to use a square here, but so you would place them onto the garment, and you have to make sure you overlap a little bit. If you don't leave yourself some overlap, you're going to have a mark. And trust me, I've done that, and it's no fun trying to shoot it out of the shirt. And you would just lower the shirt down. I don't know if you can. Did you want to?
I see it.
Okay. And this is just white. I have a little bit of reducer in here. And you would just pull it as normal, just like any other screen. And there you go. And you can adjust your spacing. They make double numbers, or, you know, outlines. And they'll stay up here on the screen, assuming, say, you have 4 or 5 teams, you know, or 4 or 5 75s. You know, you could do them all at once. And then when you were completed, you just pull them off. And they're not reusable. I mean, I suppose you could try and clean them, but this is a screen you could just keep all the time and have one screen and one box of stencils, and you don't have to have a whole rack of screens.
So what is it that you pull off from the screen?
Pardon?
What is it that you pull off? You said when you're done, you can just
Oh,
pull
well,
it
you
off?
would just pull the whole
Okay.
stencil off.
And then you don't have to wash that screen, just use another stencil for different numbers?
Right.
Okay.
You can continue to use the screen like through the whole team, or the whole job. And like I say, you would be working down from bigger to smaller.
Just keep taking off.
And these packages of stencils come with spacers as well, but you could use anything as far as the spacer goes on the side, paper, newspaper, to build yourself in. You know, obviously you don't want to have a big piece of newspaper hanging out here, and then when you lift the screen up, the weight pulls that off. You know, you want to try and keep something that's, you know, relatively close.
So like on teams that, you know, they all have their own numbers, you just keep swapping them around?
Can you reuse those stencils?
No. Okay. I mean, I was gonna throw them through the dryer there, but I kind of stuck them together. But yeah, I mean, if you had 4 or 5 teams and they all have 75.
But that's not common,
No.
usually.
Not normally. So you'd be using them one time shot.
So you could do like all the 70s, all the 60s.
Yeah, I mean, you could leave-
Leave the 7 and then just,
Yeah,
leave
leave the
seven.
7 until you started getting into, say, once you got down to like a 1, if it was 71, then you'd probably have to shift or take that one off.
But make sure the overlap is the 7.
Right, so you would leave the 7 you'd want it on first. So it'd be you place this one down first and that one over.
So when you get down to 71, could you leave the 7 on there and then just offset your shirt from the center?
Oh, you probably could, if you just wanted to move it, load it offset. I guess that's, any other questions?
how many numbers come in a
Oh,
set?
I'm sorry. It's right here. Well, I was going to have you hand me the whole box. They come like a whole set. So you get 100 of each number,
Okay.
and then there's 0 through 9, and then there's 200 ones. And depending on the set, there's 4, 6, 8 inch, and then standard block, full block. They average $130 to $160 a set.